Now I'll show you how to work with any interface, how similar the interfaces are, so that if you get hold of one interface, you can almost work with almost every interface of SPARS, right? So for example, if we go with the items profile interface, so you see this is the header bar. Normally every window has. So this is the title of the interface, and then these are the normal window icons. This is the special one. If you click it, it will right away take you to the help of items profile. So all the manual or help you can say is all the details, any specific formulas being used on the in the system for any specific field calculation. It's all there. All right. So that's the help icon. You can access through the generic help as well, and individual right away linked help as well. Then right after that, there is this another bar. It serves multiple purposes. So for example, on the left side of it, we have search filters for any interface. Whenever you open an interface, this area, these three or four things like till the plus button from this combo, you will see it similar on every interface. The first combo will have all the fields available on this interface. So you can choose anything and select the operator you want to apply and type in something, you will get the results. I hit plus button, it tells me that this is the filter I have. I can add more if I want to, but if I just want to go with it, hit search, it will give me all the data with that item ID, starting with that item ID. It shows you, it tries to show you most of the information right away. You can see the details of the multiple items in one go from this grid. All right. So in this header section, we have this search filter, which we can build as we need, like item ID could be this, quality could be this, color could be this. So we can keep adding and it will be our filter. And when we press the search, it will search accordingly. All the data in the grid will be as per our filters. Now, we have added some basic filters in the system that can be used, maybe will become handy, or we can create more basic filters for you guys as well. If you click this button that is along with the search icon, search button, if you click it, it shows you the list of saved or filters. Like I can apply a default filter. If I click it, it changes the filters here and it shows me last created 100 items in the descending order. The recent one will be on the top. Okay, so mostly this default filter does the same on all interfaces. It could be sales orders, could be consignments, could be invoices. So whenever you do that, it gives you last 100 created records, right? Mostly it is like that. And then if I go for recent activity, it gives me the records that have been created or edited within last 24 hours by this user. If I have an activity on the items profile I did in last 24 hours, it will show over here. I haven't any, that's why nothing is showing. But if I did, it will be showing those that in the last 24 hours, I might have edited or created those items. So I'll go with the default again because we had some data there. All right. Then if you are an administrator user and I don't know if you have this feature in SPARS or not. Now in SPARS, we can have multiple administrators, not just that if you have an SA account and you log in with that, then you are an administrator, otherwise not. But any user can be marked as administrator and they will get certain extra features when they use SPARS. Okay. So this icon here, it allows you, if you click it, it gives you this kind of interface and it allows you to configure your filters that are being shown here. For example, do you want your user to use the type filter? If yes, then okay. Otherwise, you can click it off. I don't want them to have the type filter, right? So similarly, any other filters you can click on or off. So for example, extended properties. You have 20 extended properties, for example, on Adam's profile, but you want them to only use 5 of those in the filters, not all of them. So you can configure here. Right? Well, this is for all users and only admins can do that. And as soon as you hit save, it will have effect over here, and this list will show filters accordingly. Okay, and this is almost on all interfaces. So that's that. Let me go back. So moving right, we are still on the top bar. We are understanding how different parts of the screen work. So this button more, it's an optional button. You will not see it on most of the interfaces. It is only available on few. So wherever actually there is an import functionality, only on those interfaces we have that, like for customers, for items, for sales order, for special customer items, or maybe more. I don't remember. So if you click it, it shows you that there are two kind of imports on items profile. You can have items import, or you can have price category like item prices data. So both imports are different. So for example, no, I'll cover that later. Just because it's an optional part, I just want to cover the generic things right now. So mostly on the top right side of the header, you will have the new button. So whenever you click it, it gets you to create this, like if it is an item, create an item. If it is sales order, create an order, similarly, respectively. All right. So for now, I'll just hit back. Okay. So right after that, this is another layer of buttons we have before we go to the grid. So this column, whenever you click this, and again, only the administrators, the admin users who can configure the application or the administrator of SPARS can have this or will have this. So if you click it, it again shows you list of fields of items profile in our case right now. And if I check on off any of these and I hit save, that field will be removed from this grid. Okay. So that is again application level change. If an administrator does that, all the users will start seeing or start not seeing that field in the grid. Okay. And these buttons, copy, Excel, CSV, print, you will see these buttons on almost every grid, on top of every grid. So no matter how many records you have in your grid, see if you press the Excel button, for example, it gets you all this data in Excel. Let me just go for that. So that makes working with parts lots and lots of easier. You search something on any interface, maybe on inventory inquiry, maybe on customer inquiry, maybe on items profile, anywhere, sales orders. You can click a button and the data will be provided to you in Excel, in CSV, on the clipboard, or maybe you can print that data directly. See all of the data. So, CSV, if you click it, it provides you the same data in the comma separated file. CSV is a lighter form of data.
Okay.
All right. So these actions, core actions, are available everywhere in SPARS on almost every grid. Okay. So then finally end up with the grid. The grid will show you whatever are the properties of this interface, and one row of the grid is representing one record. Right? If it is a sales order, one row means one sales order. If items profile, every row will have a different item ID in it, and all the properties of that item ID in other column. All right. So you are saying that we have some special icons here along with the item ID. So on any interface, you know that in your current SPARS, you have a way to search sales order on the sales order interface. There is a box where you type sales order number, press enter, it fetches all the data of the sales order. And then there is a box right to it. If you click it, it allows you to search different sales orders, right? You have that. So it's a similar kind of concept here. The main column, like in our case on items profile, it is item ID, right? So on item ID, we have maybe if we are in sales orders, we will have sales order number. So whichever is the primary or the main field of that interface will have these icons with it. And also these icons are quite similar as well. Like for example, this eye icon will allow you to view the details in a specific form kind of interface like this for that item that you clicked. And it opens it separately so that you can open multiple and maybe compare them in multiple monitors, right? And all the details of that item, everything. And similarly, if you want to edit that interface, that record, and if it is editable and you are allowed,
And you are allowed, yes.
yeah,
Okay.
then you click it, it allows you to edit the information. And we have some similar concepts as our current SPARS that if it is like a yellowish background, it means it's a mandatory field. You cannot keep it empty, right? So for example, if I do that and press save, it highlights it that this field is missing. All right. So if field is not editable, it will be like that. And when you hover over it, you can see the mouse icon changed, right? Over here it allows, and over here it doesn't. So it will be grayed out as well. So we will go in details on different these properties of what we have in items profile, how it works. We'll go in detail, but I'm just covering it to make you understand. Extended properties, I really want to everybody see that when we actually cover that in detail. You have extended properties right now in some of your interfaces. This is much, much more than that. Yeah, that is the basic thing you have. This is like much more than that, what you have right now. Okay, so that. And for example, if there are more actions on an interface just than view or edit, then you will have this third button as well, which says click view. Somebody joined it. So click view to more actions. Click to view more actions. So if I click it, it shows me this quick bar, which are the possible different actions I can perform on this record. So for example, I can delete an item. I can view the history of the item. We will cover that as well in our coming sessions. This is a really good thing of SPARS now, the history. We can clone an item. We can convert an OIK item to prog. We can convert some of the stock IDs of an OIK item to prog, or we can convert all of the stock IDs to OIK item to prog. So these are all the actions available on this record. So every record, if you click it, it shows you the item ID keeps changing on the tooltip. So if I go here, it will be relevant item ID. So that the user knows that on which item they are going to perform this action. All right. So that's how any single interface works or designed to have information on it. Right. Okay. So